Okay, good things that happened. On the 25th of June, Saturday, Gina came and she straightened things out with the clothing. And she straightened things out with the house. And the great, wonderful meal she made. You want to know what meal she made? Potato, mashed potato, peas, and Morningstar Farms grillers. Or was it that Beyond Burger or whatever that is? Or that other burger. Anyway, vegetarian meat. Now she gives it to me in a bowl because I can't eat out of a dish because all the food falls over the edges. And it was just scrumptious, folks. Don't you think that's very good eating? Potato, peas, and grain hamburger. And then she did the entire the main part of the work every day that keeps the television show going and the message going out. When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how do you treat others. That's the holy agenda, and that consists of the voicemail, the calls that come in and have to be answered, and then we have to keep up with the new people to make sure that we do what they need, and then it goes to the contacts that are in the cell phone.
Goodbye, Glendora.
And we do 10 of them every day, and then it goes into the app. You know what Google told us? That she has 3 million apps. I think that's what you... Google, how many apps do you have in Play Store? Hey Google, how many apps do you have in Play Store? Well, I think that's what she told me.
Here is information from Statista.
Cancel Google. And then we do 10 of those every day. Takes us about a month to get through them. I decided to put every number into the contacts. For a long time I kept them on paper. But now, if I keep every number in contacts, then I can dial them myself if Google will help me. Hey Google, call Debbie Holden, speakerphone.
Calling Debbie La Posada Holden, mobile on speakerphone.
You see that? I was hoping to find a landline. Can you tell me if there's a landline telephone, you know, the big desk telephone, that will auto dial 50 or 60 telephone? See, this one will only do 10 or 9, I think it is. It's wonderful, but I wish it would do 50 or 60. Do you know of such a phone? Well, Glendora, why don't you call up AT&T or many of the other phones?
We can't make it to the phone right now. Please leave a message.
Sorry,
Gary Holden.
cannot receive a message. This mailbox is full. To leave a message for someone else, press 2.
Interesting answering machine, isn't it? Well,
To leave a message for someone else, press 2.
and the kitty cat is
Disconnect, press star
eating
9
just
or
fine,
just
and there
hang
were
up.
so many people who wanted to know if the kitty cat was home safely. Yes,
To leave a message
home,
for someone else,
happy,
press 2.
and
To
healthy.
disconnect, press star 9 or just hang up.
The time is 10:57 a.m.
And then Gina cleaned the bathroom all nicely for us. And when she went to mop the floor, the mop handle broke. So she had to go to Family Dollar and get another mop. And when she came back, I don't think she had time to mop the floor. And after the contacts, we go to the Think Folder 1. Think Folder 1 is operations, thing you have to do to keep this ship afloat. Like one operation is that we have to take Debbie Holden's presentation that she's presenting at Chatwick Lindor in Pittsfield, which is totally illegal. You don't have to make a public access producer do that. In fact, you really can't. But we'll let them go. We won't sue them for $17,000. Taking that video off of the SD card in your camcorder and putting it on an email to Pittsfield so they can cablecast it over TV. And that's an operation. The trust, the bills that come in, we have to make out a
11 o'clock a.m. The temperature is 18.2
request for
degrees
disbursement.
The time is 11 o'clock a.m. 18.2 degrees
And we have to send them a copy of the bill. They called up in question about a bill that we had from Craigslist. They wanted to know what it was for. I said, it's for a help wanted ad. Well, I don't know if the management will approve that. Well, I said, you've been approving help wanted ads in the Advertiser Times Union for months. And this isn't any different. Well, I'll have to ask management. So they called back and said, yes, it's okay, we'll pay for it. That's the trust. It's my money, you know, or it's Franco's money, and I send it to them, $1,750 worth every month. It's my money, isn't it? And for the most part, they don't question it. But then they're questioning how I want to spend my money. Anyway, it keeps you out of a nursing home. And it keeps you with AIDS. And it keeps your work done, really. So that's operations Think Folder 1, Think Folder 2, Think Folder 3. And then we keep a written diary. Okay. And then after that comes the good deeds. Good deeds are good. We feed the birdies out in back of the garage by the bicycle trail. And we feed the birdies out the window. And we feed the squirrels, if there's any around. And then the compost, folks, I do not throw away anything organic. Anything organic goes back to the soil. Very careful about that. Anything organic goes back to the soil. The recycle, nothing wet and nothing organic goes into the recycle. And then there's a dumpster. And we thank the owners of the property. They provide all those things for us. He trusts us with his world to keep it clean and fair. All rocks, all trees, all rocks, all trees, all skies, all seas, all creatures everywhere. This is my Father's world. Oh, let us ne'er forget that though the wrong seems off so strong, God is the ruler yet. A very, very good Sentinel watch on the telephone, a podcast this morning put out by the Christian Science Church. And Jenny Sawyer is interviewing Deborah Hirsch, I think. I'm not sure of the spelling of the last name. But she's a Christian Science practitioner in San Juan Capistrano, California. And a superb, stimulating message. Just remember the goodness of God. Remember the goodness of God everywhere. Just think about that. You can choose what you think about. The birdie just told you that too. Remember the goodness of God, the beauty of the universe, the triumph of the universe, the creativity of the universe, the progress of it. Just think about that. Only about the good things. Don't let that other stuff enter your mind. We're back to the old Bible passage over and over again. Be not conformed to the world. Live as though it doesn't exist. But be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Just think right. Think about good stuff. Thank you so much, Christian Science Church, for doing that and all the other things you do. The Bible passages you put over the telephone. The healings you give an account of. They have had over 86,000 healings since it started way back in the 1880s, 1870s. Be not conformed to the world. Be not conformed to ugliness and things that are distasteful. Instead, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and that means just think about all the beauty in this earth and the greatness and the oneness. Will you help me do that? Please? I'll help you do it as much as I can. I want to do that. So after the good deeds, and one, of course, is getting in the United States mail, and being thankful for the United States Post Office, and being thankful for the USA, and being thankful for Social Security, being thankful for Medicaid. We usually do the World Book Encyclopedia, and we're on volume P. P as in Paul. And then we do the trust, send in the receipts and the requests for reimbursement, our own money. And then we do the errands list. I'm glad that Gina didn't have time to do the errands list at Walmart this week. I'd like to try to make it go until next Thursday when she comes. But Glendora, you need SD cards. What kind of SD card you going to get? Well, I think twice 128. Twice 228. 128. That would be 254, would it? And if we wanted to, we could get twice 254. These go up exponentially, or something like that. Go up twice 254 would be 5 something. I think so. We might as well. You don't lose any quality with them, I don't think. the larger the SD, the larger gig. And then next comes reading Franklin's poems. We're reading the poems that he wrote in the year 1972. And they were published in the Buffalo Evening News every week. Beautiful thought poems. Yes, he was doing what we all should do, thinking of the beauty of the universe. And then what comes after that? Moving on. Make sure that everybody understands that everything in Happy House 3 fits into the museum, the Glendora Franklin Museum for the Preservation of the Pro Se Public Access Newspaper Museum. Or record, for the record. And then what comes? Keeping the museum up to date. The actual physical structure of it, the 55-foot trailer, and keeping the index to it up to straight, and keeping paying the rent on it up to date. Oh, thank you people for inquiring about the kitty cat. Kitty cat is very, very, very happy and very healthy. She turned vegan within 2 or 3 days. It's easy, folks. All you do is give them vegan meat like the that steak, that meat that's better than Prime or something, and then put nutritional yeast on it, and that's it. Eat, eat, eat. Manji, 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 right? And that's pretty much the end of the Holy Agenda. Then there's the details. Today we want to look up a good Bible passage for you all week, for all of us, and look up words to freshen our vocabulary so we can think better about God, and jokes, and a new hymn for the week. That's a detail. Not really. Details are usually one time only. Well, the Pittsfield video, that's a detail. How about some jokes now, Glendora? Okay. Somebody asked a dog, "Are you bilingual?" And the dog said, "Woof, meow." A man said his dog played poker. And his friend said, "I don't believe it." Yes, he does. He has one fault. Whenever he gets a good hand, he wags his tail. A dog and a cat and a bird all died on the same day. And they all went to heaven on the same day. And God said to the bird, "Where do you want to sit?" And the bird says, "On your left side." And then God said to the dog, "Where do you want to sit?" And the dog says, "On your right side." And God said to the cat, "And where do you want to sit?" And the cat said, "I think you're sitting in my chair." Two men made a pact. They were both avid baseball fans. They made a pact that when whoever died first would come back and tell the other one if they had baseball in heaven. Well, Harry died first, and he came back and he said, Matt, they have baseball in heaven." Matt said, "Hallelujah." And Harry says, "And you're pitching Friday night." the devil challenged St. Peter to a baseball game. And St. Peter said, okay, but I don't see how you're going to win. All of the good players are up here. And the devil says, yeah, but all the umpires are down here. Doctor's jokes? No. Lawyer's jokes? No. Teacher's jokes? Yeah. The teacher was struggling to try to get through to the children the duties of the Vice President of the United States. She said, what children? If the President of the United States were to die this very moment, who would get the job? And the little girl said, a Democrat undertaker. Undertaker jokes? Yes. The undertaker who married the snake charmer, and now they have towels that say hiss and hearse. Hiss and hearse. The undertaker who signed all of his letters, eventually yours. You can always count on your undertaker. He's the last man in the world to let you down. Do you have a Bible passage? Well, we just gave the Bible passage. Be not conformed to evil, darkness, discouragement, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind and think only about the good things, the greatness of God, the great mind of God. What a mind! Think of it. In a seed is everything an apple tree has to have to become an apple tree. In a little seed. Think of in a cell. 2 cells combine. And then every cell knows what it has to do. How to differentiate. Think of a mind like that. Mind, soul, and body. Think of it, that the same soul that is in you is in everybody next to you. Think of it, that your job is to create for the universe and keep moving the universe forward. Keep progress going. Keeping the universe going and growing and glowing as it has been for billions of years. And you've always been part of it, because remember, God is the only thing there is, and if by definition God is the only thing there is, then you have to be some of God. And you are spiritual, and your spirit has always been alive, and it always will be alive. Always. And you're part of this great creation that's gone on for billions of years. It was you and your brothers and sisters and all of us together who did it. Because there is only God. And if there's only God, you're some of it. There's no way around that. Got any words? Adept? Skillful? Abel. Uh, Prolific. Coming up for good ideas for the universe. And what are we trying to remind each other of? When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did we treat each other? How are you coming on that? Yes, I'm doing much better. Much, much better. I would say for 10 days now. Yeah, much better. Much better. And does his body take care of everything? Yes, it takes care of everything. 94 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and vegan. Okay, does that take care of yesterday? Yes, the kitty cat ate beautifully. Beyond burger with yeast on top of it. And I think she likes potatoes and peas. And she likes her yeast. Okie dokie. Now Grady Hearn was going to come today and we were going to have a Glendora Vegetarian Club. But he got the day off. He works for a company that videos weddings and other grand occurrences. And he was supposed to bring them the equipment to do it. And he started on his way up here. He got as far as New Preston, Connecticut, and they called him and they said, you didn't bring the equipment. So there goes our Glendora Vegetarian Club as far as Grady is concerned. But he said maybe after he delivers the equipment he can come over. We were going to have shepherd's clove pie, Glendora style, 2 cans of vegetable soup, 2 cans of cut green beans, and 2 packages of Morningstar Farm crumbles, hamburger, vegetarian hamburger, and a teaspoon of cloves. Be careful on that. A teaspoon may be too much. Ground cloves, maybe a half a teaspoon, and then on top of it mashed potato with butter. I can't believe it's not butter. We use, of course. And then he was going to bring some things over from the vegan vegetarian store in Woodbury, Connecticut, but they don't have anything except spicy food from India. And I don't like that. The Spanish food is bad enough, and those jalapeno or jalapeno, whatever peppers are terrible. But bell peppers are delicious. And so the only thing he can find is vegan cold cuts. I've never had them before. I'm going to try them up. They're about $4 a package. Tofurkey makes them, but I do not like Tofurkey, and here I am a vegan. But Tofurkey has other products we should explore. April has a friend who shops at Trader Joe's often, and Trader Joe has over 200 vegan products. The world is getting more and more vegan. I am so happy to say. You see how we move forward? Never lie, steal, or cheat, and go vegan. Well, that's enough for the 26th of June, Sunday, 2022. And may the God of peace sanctify. May the God of peace sanctify all of us completely, through and through. Thessalonians 2. Bye-bye. And may the peace of God dwell in our hearts and minds